Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Bold and the Beautiful. Sheila and Lai want answers from Luna, Ivy shoots her shot, and Deacon pushes Hope to reconcile with her ex. At Il Giardino, Sheila and Deacon make toe jokes amid a search for Electra's lost earring. Talk turns to Will, and Sheila flashes to Luna's confession. Hope arrives, and Sheila asks if she and Carter will tie the knot soon. Hope's visibly discombobulated. Not reading the room, Sheila suggests they host the wedding there. Deacon feels there's no rush, not now that Liam's back in the game. At Bill's place, he surprises Liam with his favorite breakfast burrito. Single-minded as ever, Liam points out that what he wants most right now is not something his father can deliver, a future with hope. He admits he told her how he felt. Bill's impressed with his go-getter attitude. Liam needs to fight for what he wants, Hope, Beth, and their family. Bill's sure he'll succeed. Liam won't rest until Hope believes this is worth fighting for. Is Katie giving Will bad advice? In Forrester's design office, Electra teases her Aunt Ivy about tonight being the night with Will. Across the hall, Will agonizes about the mystery sex and text amid flashbacks. Katie enters and asks if he's figured out who he was with. He shakes his head. Katie admits that the more she thinks about what happened, the angrier she gets. She knows he would never have done anything like this if he didn't think it was Electra. He was so drunk, Deacon had to give him a place to sleep it off. That girl had to be at that party and knew he had a serious girlfriend. She took advantage of the situation. She even wore a mask, for God's sake. Tearing up, Katie tells her son this isn't his fault. As Will worries about coming clean with Electra, who might just understand, his mother informs him that he never has to think about this mystery girl ever again. Will isn't sure whether to tell his girlfriend or keep the secret and live with the guilt. Meanwhile, Electra makes sure Ivy won't be coming home to interrupt her and Will tonight. Ivy admits she has plans to go and tell Liam how she feels about him. Electra gushes about them both ending up with a Spencer man. Later, Electra's welding when Will comes in. Electra invites him to come by the guest house. It will be a night they'll never forget. Romantic music swells as they make out. Will, of course, looks conflicted when they embrace and flashes to the previous night. Will Lai and Sheila get answers? Over at Lai's place, she's giving Luna another lecture about leaving the house. If someone spots her, her freedom is gone. Luna insists there's nothing to worry about. She's not going to spend the rest of her life in prison. I'll make sure of it. Lai narrows her eyes and asks, "What are you saying? Is she expecting another miracle or something?" Luna hedges, "Maybe." Sheila arrives and Lee storms out. Sheila realizes her granddaughter has a plan and wants to know what it is. Luna vaguely vows she will do whatever it takes to make sure she doesn't end up in the prison hellhole ever again. Who's Liam's biggest cheerleader? At the restaurant, Deacon wants Hope to tell him what's really going on. Hope recaps that she thought Liam was dying, but now he's not. Deacon, having caught a bad case of tunnel vision, not unlike his former son-in-law's, asks if this has changed her position on marrying Carter. Carrying on the cheerleading for Liam, Deacon points out that Carter hurt Hope. Of course, Liam never did that. He pointedly asks if Walton makes her feel the way her ex-husband does. Deacon knows his daughter still loves Liam. Who will shoot their shot? At Bill's place, Liam's surprised to see Ivy at the door and invites her in. She says Hope she's not being too forward, but the thought of losing him made her realize how much he means to her. Ivy misses him and is sure he wants to spend his life with a woman who truly loves and appreciates him. Liam bluntly tells her that Hope is that woman. Ivy stammers a bit, but takes it well. Next on The Bold and the Beautiful, Will goes to Sheila for help. Get a look at previews for Thursday, August 28 in the photo gallery below. Katie Logan's nerves were a storm that morning. She stood by the kitchen window, her coffee growing cold in her hands, staring at the garden but seeing only the turmoil swirling inside her. Bill had once again managed to bulldoze through her patience, and worse, she couldn't stop worrying about the ripple effects his ruthless nature was having on their son. Will sat at the table, tapping idly at his phone until he noticed the tension in his mother's face. "Mom," he asked softly, "what's wrong? You look upset." Katie turned, forcing a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Sometimes, Will, life doesn't make sense. People don't treat you the way they should. And when that happens, you can't always just smile and forgive. You have to push back, be tougher than they expect. Sometimes you have to fight for yourself, even if it doesn't feel right. Her voice carried a sharp edge, one that made Will blink. Fight like Dad does? Katie hesitated. She hadn't meant to sound so harsh, but her agitation got the better of her. Not exactly like your father, but yes, sometimes the nice guy finishes last. And you, Will, you deserve better than last place. Will nodded slowly, tucking the words away. He wasn't sure if they were the kind of wisdom he needed, but hearing his mother's voice so firm, so almost ruthless, made him believe them. Across town, Liam Spencer was dealing with his own storm. He sat on the couch, raking his fingers through his hair, replaying arguments with hope in his head. Steffi's name haunted the edges of every thought. He'd been pulled between them so many times that he no longer knew where his heart truly rested. That was when the knock came. Liam opened the door to find, spoiler, eyes gleaming with something more than friendly concern. They carried themselves with a confidence that immediately filled the room, brushing past Liam with a smile that lingered a little too long. "You look like you're drowning," Spoiler said softly, "and I think I know why." Liam sighed, shoulder sagging. "It's complicated. It always is." "Maybe it doesn't have to be," Spoiler countered, stepping closer. "You spend so much energy being tugged around by Hope and Steffi. But what about what you want? What about someone who sees you, Liam, not as a pawn in some endless triangle, but as the man you are?" The words hit him hard. He wanted to deny it, wanted to dismiss them, but the sincerity in Spoiler's voice made his chest tighten. And when they rested a hand gently on his arm, Liam didn't pull away. The moment lingered, dangerous, tempting. Katie's questionable advice had already begun reshaping Will's thoughts, setting him on a path that might harden his heart. Meanwhile, Liam stood teetering on the edge of another disaster, this time one he hadn't seen coming. And Spoiler, bold and unrelenting, was ready to seize the opening. The Logan and Spencer worlds were about to collide in ways none of them could have predicted.